Hello everyone, it's your friend, your boy, jetblackrlsh here with
You gotta, you gotta learn what
Landlord,
it
who's doing a
means.
bit. And today we're doing Playmasters. It's a game where we do a tabletop RPG and we switch between being the player and being the game master, playing two different games, making up the games as we go. We're going to be continuing the game that we played yesterday, Game Without a Name, for his campaign that he'll be GMing, brother. And I'm going to make up a game when it's time for me to be the GM. Like I said, we trade off every 10 minutes. Who would you like to go first?
Well, since you want to play a last game,
Okay, I'll do the game master this
yeah.
time around. Feel free to start up the timer.
Hello, Shania, the
Yeah, Shuri-chan. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you.
Shahara.
How's your day? Do you have any questions for your boy? Any discussion topics like something on the stream? Hit that button.
Are you related to Alexander Shinaga?
Okay, so you are currently hanging out with a group of friends. You're at a bowling alley.
Right.
It's this girl. You know her name is Alex. She has brown hair, blue eyes, and she has a pretty nice shape. And then Tom. It's
So like oval.
She has like an hourglass shape. And you got Tom. Tom is like a very skinny black kid. He's got an afro, brown eyes. He has freckles. He looks about 7 years old. Alex is like around your age. You're
So what's the other
alley.
guy? What's
Tom.
Tom seems cute. Yeah.
It's your turn to go up and bowl.
Gotcha. So do I have my ball already?
Yeah, and you can describe it.
Alright, so it's cool. It has the ability to hit strikes every time. It's great.
At least that's what you tell your friends.
Yeah.
You believe all those
Right.
things.
Okay, so I go ahead and I'm like, watch this, you guys.
So you roll the ball, and now you should roll a D100.
Can I use your computer?
Yeah.
51.
What do you want? Okay. Yeah. I say you knock down like at least half the pins.
And then I like turn to the guy, Tom?
Tom.
And I'm like, Tom, why'd you use your force powers on me, man? You can't be doing that. It throws off the energy of the vault. What are you doing?
Tom's like, hey, don't blame me for your ass rolls. Remember, he's like 7.
Yeah. And I'm like, Tom, you shouldn't say that. That's not very nice. You have more psychic ability than any mortal. You need to respect your power.
You're right. I could have made it rhyme. Don't blame me for your Oh wait.
Nope.
No,
Tom,
now you got me.
ruined it, yep.
No, my powers are fading. Alex chuckles. Your ball has like come back in the ball return, and the pins have been like switched out.
I'm like, I gotta collect it before someone takes my magic ball.
Yeah, and Tom's like, of course.
Yeah, I like look into it like it's a crystal ball.
Okay. You see your reflection.
I'm like, dope. Whose turn is it?
It's still yours. You
Oh,
only
right.
that was
Oh,
your
yeah,
first
yeah.
roll. Yeah.
So then I'm like, I do like a pretend like magic wand thing, then I do it again.
Okay. And roll that D100. 23. This time around, it rolls toward the half that you'd already like knocked out,
Yeah.
but you get like one additional pin out of it.
Dang. I'm like, Tom, you trying to spite me out here?
Tom's like, I don't know why you keep saying I'm the one with the psychic powers. We all know Alex is the residential hippie. And then Alex is like, he always gets on to me about my incense. Come on, that doesn't make me a hippie. I just like nice odors. Tom. I don't want to smell your underwear all the time. Tom. Tom like, hey, I wash my underwear sometimes.
I'm like residential hippie on the apartment complexes, giving fees for that. But do you only like allow other hippie residents? Is it like a commune? What is this?
They both just look at you, and then Alex and Tom are like, he never ends with a biz.
No.
So Alex gets up. It's like her time to like do the bowling. While she's like grabbing her ball, she like picks it up, has like a unicorn on it. She like puts it back down. She picks up a ball that has like a pumpkin face on it. It's Tom's ball. She's like, maybe I should use Tom's ball. And Tom's like, bitch. And Alex is like, man, you're lucky your mom's not here. And she picks up like the unicorn ball, and she like granny rolls it. 64. She
Yeah.
she knocks over I'd say 8 pins. She leaves like the fucking like 7-10 split or whatever left over, and she's like, so close, so close.
I'm like, if you make this 7-10 split, we know you're a witch.
If only. Love that movie. Hocus Pocus.
Yep. Next we're gonna try with the like tying stones, see if you float.
If you tie me with these bowling balls, we'll just strike through the bottom of the pond. Free myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that no issue at all. So she's waiting for like her ball to come back and the ball return. Tom's like, hey, have they brought nachos here yet? I know we haven't ordered them, but is it not like like a Mexican food restaurant?
I like lean down as Tom's sitting down.
Yeah.
I like lean down and I'm like, well, it's time to learn about economics. You see, when you go to a place,
While
you
you're
have to
doing
pay
it,
for the food.
Alex is like getting her ball and everything just behind you. You
Yeah.
see like a glance.
Yeah. I'm like, you have to pay for your food. Because when you want to get food, you have to know that you want Alex to lose and miss this ball, and you gotta know that
68. She does the granny roll again, and it like goes into the gutter, but it slicks off the gutter, and then goes back onto the board, but it spins and it hits the pin on the far left, which slides across and then hits the pin on the far right. But then the pin on the far right just like woozes around. The left one's already fallen down, and the one on the right woozes until it's standing straight in the middle. It doesn't fall down. She only got one of the 2 pins.
I'm like, that was more magical than just getting it.
She's like, thank you. She like has like a nice little like black dress on, and she like does like a little curtsy or whatever.
I'm like, that's awesome.
She like,
Since you're so magical, you can teach Tom about economics, apparently business economics.
okay, Tom. So there's this thing called scarcity. Right now your score is scarce of any strikes. You should go up there and do your turn. Tom gets up. He's really excited. He got this pumpkin ball that's like way too big for him. There's like no way that he like was holding it, and he's just kind of like wobbling with the bitch, and he's trying to like get to the part where he'll roll it, and he like tries to roll it, and it just drops on his foot, and he just like ah. He like starts crying and shit. It rolls off his foot. He like grabs his foot, and he's like just rocking back and forth like next to like the line, and he's like crying. He like his face looks like a little like red even though he's black. He just seems really embarrassed and like kind of hurt.
I'm like, oh no, Tom, are you okay? Also, this is just a GM question. Is Alex black?
No.
Okay, so I'm assuming maybe her like brother? Maybe my brother?
So
I'm like, Tom, are you okay?
Tom's like, no, baby, okay, I'm
like,
fine.
okay, so you wanna get some nachos or like go to the arcade or something?
He's like, nachos, and he like tries to spring up. He's like, ah. He gets like right back down.
I'm like, all right, come sit down. We get some nachos.
He like crawls over with like his arm or whatever, and Alex is like, what do we do?
I'm like, well, let's figure out if he like, needs to go home. Or needs like how bad it is. I guess is probably the first thing. Hey Tom, and I like go and like kneel down by him, and I'm like, how's your foot? Like, does it feel like really bad? Can you stand on it?
He like tries again.
Like, be like careful. Be very, very careful.
And as he's like getting up, he's like,
I'm like, okay. It's probably spring. Let me just go up to the front real quick. I'll be right back. Can you like hang out with Tom for a second?
Alex is like, yeah, no stuff.
Awesome. So I like go up to the little like ball place, like the shoe place.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, excuse me. Could you guys make an announcement for a nurse? My friend, who's like 7, he just hurt his foot, and we might need to take him somewhere, but we don't know. Could you just call out to see if there's somebody by chance who might be able to take a look?
Okay. Sure, no problem. there's a guy behind the desk. He has a name tag. It says like Bill on it.
Thank
He
you.
has short gray hair, blue eyes. He looks like he's in like his 30s to 40s. Kind of fat. Bill hits a button and he goes, "All hands on deck. We got an injured child on what lane?
I looked to the lane.
You took the lane. It's like lane 22.
Lane 22.
We got an injured child out on lane 22. You got any nurses in the house? Any doctors around? Help look after what's his name? Tom. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Oh, no problem.
I go and like head back.
He then goes, and as you walk away, he's like, "I love doing voices for the internet."
Like, yeah, super cool, right?
Oh,
That was it.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it.
Oh, okay.
If you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me like get a refresher real quick before the fuck. Okay, got it. You're inside the hospital, they sent the drones, all of this shit. You have your two guys from your business there. They've just been explaining a whole bunch of shit to you. Karen's in your mind. Karen also has like a physical copy of herself, nanobots.
So what was the marital trouble that I was having with Karen? I'm asking Karen in my head.
Karen's your daughter.
Fuck. What was the marital that? What was the marriage trouble that I was having with Christina before like we made up? Excuse me, on the cruise.
She's like, you told me not to like really bring that up. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. So roll a D100.
That's awesome, Shuricha.
Yeah.
He says he's also making his own game.
Nice.
17.
Ooh. Okay. You cheated.
Weird. With who?
Roll a D100.
26.
Ooh. Girl you met at a bar.
A bar?
Yeah.
That also sounds like not like me. Do they serve milkshakes?
Yes. It was a milkshake bar.
A milkshake bar.
Alcoholic milkshake bar.
What? I don't
Yeah.
drink.
You did not.
That also doesn't sound
Crazy
like
good.
me. Yeah. So apparently future me drinks. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Not she Karen like jumps in. Not all the time. You did this night in particular. A lot.
So apparently future me drinks at all?
Yes.
That's weird. So who is this person?
Taranga Fitzgerald.
Know anything about him?
Bartender.
Know anything else about him?
Works at 7th Street Adult Smoothies.
Adult smoothies?
A milkshake bar.
I get what you mean by adult, because it has, that's so weird. Anyways, anything about her personality?
Nice, has 2 kids, 47. She really likes nature. She has quite a few social media posts about nature and hiking. She really likes spending time with her kids. She's a working mom, a single mom, and she really likes her job.
Okay, so in my mind, and she would hear anything that I was thinking,
Yeah.
but it would be like, why would I go anywhere and drink a lot? Why would I try to have a fling with a bartender with kids who doesn't seem to necessarily have any interest based on like common
She's
interests?
like one night stand, not fling.
Why would I want to have a one night stand
Drunk.
with anybody?
Drunk.
Why would I get drunk? It just sounds like a lot of not
Bad
me
day.
decisions.
Bad day.
How so?
War. Your company was in trouble. You had an assassination attempt on your life. You were feeling very shaken up. You couldn't get in contact with your life. Your friends and execs like went out to a bar. You hung out with them. You drank some milkshakes. You didn't realize it was an adult like alcoholic milkshake place.
I'm
You got
sorry.
drunk.
I didn't realize that adult smoothies.
Right.
That it was a alcoholic
You didn't look at the name of the
milkshake and
place.
smoothie
You
place.
just went in. You were distraught. They brought you in a car.
I don't understand the future me. Future me
You got
seems
rushed
really
off
dumb.
from an assassination attempt.
Mm-hmm.
You went to like a hideout for a little bit.
What is
Out
my
of town.
go-to milkshake place?
You bought a place in 2028 called Cookout.
Why would we not go to Cookout of all the
Closed
places?
down. Too many bombings.
We could fix that. So why don't I have a bomb shelter with a cookout in it?
You generally make cookouts, milkshakes at your house. You didn't want to go back to your house for fear that you'd be followed and your family's lives would be in risk.
Do we not have safe houses?
Yes, but the general public doesn't know who your wife or child is, so it's just
Do my wife and child not have safe houses?
they do.
Okay. Why wouldn't I just go to a safe house?
They
And why wouldn't
always
I?
happen.
Why wouldn't I like check up on my daughter?
You were trying. You had no way to contact your wife. Your daughter was with your wife.
How did I have no way to contact my wife? Does she not have like this?
She did. At the time, she turned it off for fear of hacking. You did the same thing, but you left me on biological implantation.
Fear of hacking.
Yes,
What?
can be intercepted.
So
Confined location.
questions then.
Yes,
A lot of questions.
yes.
So why did she cut hers off out of fear of hacking? What
Protocol.
prompted that?
Eventually seeing your assassination attempt on the news.
So when have I ever wait, hold on. So I drank and like I got drunk by accident
Yeah.
at an adult smoothie.
Initially got drunk by accident, then continued to drink on purpose.
Why would I continue to drink on purpose? That just
Sad.
sounds
Life
that-
altering event.
sounds dumb. It just future me is weird. Why is it that I like walk around and do stuff in like this world where we're at war? Don't
Extra security, the need to be, involved. The company and all of its efforts have been spearheaded by you.
so it's possible for me to do stuff like make a nanite body that will like do stuff for me while I'm like unconscious somewhere else, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it's possible for me to do shifts where it's like nanite body and I'm unconscious, and then during the time where I'm asleep, the nanite body could be like not a thing, and then I could be conscious.
Yes, but the problem is it still sends feedback to your normal body. So if you like die, it affects you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Is it like death by shock automatically? Like
No.
like
it-
how like surprise
It
kind of
is
shock,
killing-
not like
It
electricity.
is like an intense.
Okay.
Yeah, it like sends all the same like emotion and therefore chemical response in your body as if you were dying.
Could we not put a limiter on that?
You can. It's just because it's not always known when it's going to happen. It's hard to like slow it. So it's just this large impact, and then once it hits your body, it like the chemicals in your body start. So then you have to try and regulate the chemicals in your body. It just takes a second.
The idea would be, Karen, you're problem solving AI, right?
Yes.
Like I can give you a problem and then you try to be like, here's like a possible solution.
Yes.
Okay. Based off of like these conditions,
Yes.
could you make it where when the nanite body would, when the nanite body is like, I'm going to send this stimuli to the real body.
Before you go too far, I just want to let you know we've been working on like doing this for a while. It's like not like we just didn't know.
Sure. When it sends it to the real body,
Right.
that it like analyzes what the impact of that stimuli would be on the real body
Right.
chemically, and say that if it goes anywhere near a certain threshold, similar to how microphones can be set to not have like
Exceed a
peak,
certain threshold.
right?
But the
that it
problem
just doesn't send that stimuli back.
the problem is I'm a chemical entity within your brain and within your body. I'm a collection of neurons. So not only, I mean, I'm also a supercomputer in a large facility, but by the time that stimuli would hit you, that would be when we could detect how much it is. Once it hits you, because of the way that I'm designed, it's already chemically active in your body.
That just sounds like a fundamental design problem.
Agreed.
But it just seems like what you could do is not have physical stimulus be sent back then.
Then you can't interact.
So the way that I would do it is instead of having it where the nanite body detects things like pain reception,
Right.
just have it like not, and have it not send that kind of thing back.
Then it can't. So that's good.
Oh, okay.
Then it can't. You still got a second.
Oh, I still have a second?
Yeah. Then it can't. You can't function in the body.
How so?
It just doesn't work
Why?
because you can't attach.
So that's the actual final beep. So now we know what the final beep sounds like. Okay, he did a call out to the, we're switching back to the other game. Okay, there we go. He did a call out that was like, hey, are there any doctors or nurses in the house? You know, there's Tom, lane 22. You're walking away.
Awesome.
Cool.
Have you like finger guns to Tom?
Bong.
Not to Tom. To Bill.
Tom's like crying. Like,
To Bill.
to Bill, and Bill's like, so I rolled a 10 on the D100, so like nobody here is like a doctor or like a nurse or anything, so nobody's able to come up and like inspect him further.
Okay. I'm like, I walk up to Alec and I'm like, forgive me for not remembering if we've talked about this. Is anyone in your family like a nurse or in the medical field?
Anyone in our family? Not that I'm like aware of. So I think what we could do is maybe like pick up a little like boot for him.
Right.
Because from my experience having like sprained an ankle before, if this is a sprain and hopefully not like a broken like toe or anything, we could just like put the thing on him that will make sure that he doesn't like stress his thing, and then just roll with it until we can get back home and talk to our parents about it.
This sounds good. I look at Tom and I'm like, Tom, you cool with me like picking you up, man? Just bring you back to the car.
I mean, I prefer not to be treated like a baby, but if we got to go box some nachos, then, you know, I could maybe see it. And he's like sniffling
I
stuff.
like reach in my pockets and feel for car keys.
Feel for car keys.
Yeah.
She's like, why are you looking for keys to my car?
I'm like,
Alex's like reaction.
my bad. Alex, could you go start the car and get it ready and like pull it up to the front? I'll explain to them like why, so you're not like they don't tell you something about being in front of the thing. I'm gonna go and get him some nachos. And Tom, if you want, you could do like a piggyback thing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that just sounds good all around, says Tom. Alex is like, here are my bowling shoes.
Awesome.
Can you like return those? Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll put on my shoes and then head over to the car.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
good.
Well, I'm like, you have to walk by the front anyway. Could you just like drop your shoes off
You're right.
at the front? Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm like, do you mind just dropping it? Because I'm gonna order him nachos. We gotta go like the other way.
Okay.
Get the nachos.
Can you help him with his shoes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, yeah, that's gonna be really careful with that.
Yeah. So I like go to Tom and I'm like, alright, Tom, I'm gonna do like your non-injured foot first. Got it.
He does a little like, even though it's not the injured one,
I'm
he's like still kind of like pussing.
I'm like, you okay?
Yeah.
This one hurt?
No, no.
Okay. Yeah, this is good. I'm just curious. Okay. So I get that and I'm like, are you ready for this one? Do you want to take
Tom's
it?
like,
I'm like, do you want to take this?
he's like nachos.
I'm like, yeah, do you want to take this one?
Not.
Okay. I'm like, alright, I'll be right back, Tom. I
Okay.
like go up to the like thing where the nachos are. Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Pretty good.
His name is David.
I'm like looking to make sure I saw like good content, like visual content.
Tom's just over here.
Okay, cool. I'm like just making sure I can still see him.
Yeah.
Hey, can I get an order of nachos?
Oh, his name's David. He has a little name tag. He has a buzz cut on, brown eyes, brown hair.
No, David, I like the look.
Hacha.
Cool outfit, man. Could I get some nachos, please, David?
Sure. What kind? Do you want like our chili nachos or jalapeno nachos?
I'm like, you see that kid over there?
Yeah.
Is
he dabbing?
He kind of. Pain dabbing.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's he already spoke.
Oh, intercom guy.
Yeah.
Tom.
Yes, Tom. He's a cool kid. I'm gonna go race over to him to see what his type of nacho is. It's slipped my mind. I'll be right back.
Okay. Be careful running.
Thank you. I like carefully but kind of quickly like jog over to Tom. Tom, I like just kind of like lean over like.
Is it off yet? No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
still. What?
Tom, I'm getting you nachos so that you don't have to worry about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what kind of nachos?
What? Do they have cheese?
Cheese, they have chili ones, I'm sure they have jalapenos.
Can I get like cheese on chips?
Just that's it?
That's nachos, right?
Right, but do you want anything else in them?
Like what?
Like chili?
Chili? Like what we have like in a big pot, like in like
Yes.
a bowl. Why on chips?
Some people like it,
Weird flex.
but okay.
And what was the other thing you said?
Jalapenos,
What?
hot peppers.
Oh, I don't. Sure.
Ooh, are you sure? Do you like spicy food, Tom?
I'm not a baby.
I know. Do you? What about this? I'll put them on the side, and you can try them. So that way, if you like them, you can put them on. But you're not forced if you don't like.
I'm sure I'll like. I'm not a baby.
You're not a baby. Okay.
Get extra.
Bad. So I like go back to the guy and I'm like, hey, could you do me a favor? Could you get like, could I order normal nachos, cheese chips? Could I get jalapenos on the side, please?
Okay, yeah, that sounds perfectly fine.
Extra jalapeno. On the side, just like in a thing on the side.
Tom's adventurous.
Yeah, he is. He's a cool kid.
Okay.
How much is that gonna run?
That'll be $5.97.
To make sure I have a wallet and shit.
Yeah.
Sweet. I give him my card.
Okay. Beep 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 beep. Okay. There's a receipt. You got a pen?
Yep.
Okay. There's a sign at the bottom. This copy is yours.
Dude, perfect. There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
He checks. He reads the line for like tip or whatever. He's like, okay.
I'm like, my bad. You want me to put it to this group?
Oh no.
I'm like,
It's
wait,
not.
let me see if I got cash to actually. Would be better for you not to pay taxes on that.
Yeah.
I like look through.
Okay. The D100. Welcome back, Go Boogie.
89.
89.
I have hella money.
You have like $100 bill in your wallet.
I'm like, David. His name's David, right?
Yeah. He has a tap.
Yeah. David, do you have change for 100? I was like, 'cause that's all I have right now.
He thinks to himself like, can I open the register on this transaction since you paid with card?
I'm like, I can just put a thing on the receipt and then I'll just write it on my receipt so that way I know like what the difference is. Like I'll just write you this real quick. This good dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. This was easy.
Yeah, probably put like $5. Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, and then I just write it's like $10 or whatever. Stick it in my pocket.
Well, okay. Nachos, jalapeno on the side, coming right up.
Thank you.
Extra jalapeno.
Thanks.
So he starts working on that. Tom's over there still fucking cry dabbing.
I'm like, coolest dab in the place, Tom.
He can't hear you, it's just a little far.
I like walk over like halfway. Coolest dab in the place, Tom.
Is it off?
Almost. I like look back to see about the nachos.
Okay. You see David's like in the back. He has like a scoop that he puts into like this big like metal bin.
Yeah.
When it comes out, it's like filled with like chips. He like shuffles the chips off of like the scoop into the bowl, and it starts to like fill up the little bowl.
Yeah.
He then has like these little like cups
Yeah.
And he takes the cups and he presses on this little like slap chopper or whatever, and it starts like chopping up jalapenos and dropping them into the cups or whatever. And he does that for like 4 cups, and he like puts them like around the bowl, like on like the sides of the bowl,
Yeah.
in between like the chips and the like paper that's in the bowl
I look
around
to
the
see
chips.
if I have a phone.
A phone? Okay, you check. You do.
I look for Alex's number.
So you have, I'm not sure if you remember these, but it's like an old like Firefly phone. So
Like one of the little like pay.
so the Firefly phones I think have like 4 buttons on them
Okay.
or whatever.
Okay.
And yeah, it's like literally 4 buttons.
What the fuck?
Sorry, 5. I
Okay,
can't
so I
fucking
look in
count.
your address book and I try and find Alex.
Yeah, it's one of those things that are set for like just you and your family. So you find Alex like
Yeah.
immediately.
I hit the thing.
Okay. So you like call Alex
Yeah.
and you get you hear it ring. And you hear it ring.
I look for the nachos while this is on.
So now the nachos, he's like pumping like the cheese onto them, and
Yeah.
he's like motioning like the bowl around, and it looks like there we go.
Cool. Alright. So yeah, the whole thing with that, it doesn't work because
We switch games, by the way.
yes,
we
which
switch
is
games.
it doesn't work because connection to neurons and shit in the body, like things won't be accurately connected. It's just a simpler, there's so many complex functions that happen in your body to get you to do specific movements and to be able to react to other stimuli that you need to, like sight and sound and touch and stuff like that, in order to accurately do things that you otherwise could not do if you didn't have those tactile sensations.
So instead of having it where it doesn't send any pain at all, what if it's just like a relatively low threshold?
That's what I'm saying though. Like we just have to, the easiest way to do it by far, otherwise we cannot do it yet, is to, the way that we've made this possible is by just sending in all the information. It won't kill you. You're still alive. But this is like a really like early version of it. This is just really advanced technology. Like only you have in the world that this is sent. It gets to you and it just sends all this information. And then because you have an artificial intelligence in your body and you have nanites in your body that can like fix shit, they just start repairing. That's a lot easier than like having to figure out every time something is sent through to like pre-code it before it gets to you through this thing that also has like hardware in it, and it makes it not really able to be nanites that easy, because the nanites can just easily be receptors for the things that then can filter it once you run into a larger, more complex machine like your body.
So we don't segment anything now, not even like in categories. Like it's just
Your
lump
body
sums
does
of
it
information
once it-
being sent back and forth.
It essentially does. All the things, all the nanites correspond to a specific section of your body, a specific like percentage of your body in the specific formation that they are, so that like as they move relative to each other within this like nanite body, they change what they are linked to in your body.
So when let's say the nanite clone of me gets like stabbed, right? What about it getting stabbed lets it know I need to send this back as pain versus sending it back as any other type of signal?
It sends the same signal that it sends for that much pressure and that much force and all of that, just shooting it directly to your actual organs. Not the actual like force, but that same feeling and its effect.
So it doesn't really know or categorize that certain levels of pressure and force
It's essentially
equate
like
to a certain level of
it's
pain.
essentially like taking your nerves and putting them in a thing. Like if you could like attach your nerves to like strings and then put them in another puppet. If that thing gets stabbed, your nerves are getting stabbed.
I think I know a pretty easy way to fix this. So, is Ultimate Weapons Master a bigger sport now than it was 20 years ago.
Doesn't exist.
Cool. But does the technology that was based on Ultimate Weapons Master still exist in an accessible form?
Yes, but it's obsolete.
Cool. Not anymore. So the big thing about Ultimate Weapons Master is that they wore these different gladiator style suits.
Right.
The idea is that if they get hit with an attack that would normally like kill a normal person,
Right.
it would like stop the fight.
Right.
Because the suit itself was smart enough to recognize that if the person was not wearing this suit, then the like force and direction of the blow would do a specific thing that would like kill or like severely injure like the person, and it could tell different degrees of injury. Because the nanites are smart enough to
The
recognize
nanites
the amount
aren't
of,
smart.
well, the idea that the nanites are able to say like send this much pressure and this much force, the feeling of it to this particular part
They
of
really
the body.
don't, though. Like, nanites aren't like little machines.
Are they not telling a specific part of the body to feel this much force and this much pressure?
It's your
Like that
body
kind of
that's
feeling.
connected to them that tells them to do anything at all. Like, nanites are things that are quantum mechanically entangled to your body, such that when it's like an instant data transfer that we don't have a lot of control over. So like when they're entangled to your body in a specific way, when your body like does a thing, they just do the thing. There's no like complex algorithm.
But if
for it.
I'm unconscious,
Right. It's still
And
like
just
sends
pop
those
it in
things
it.
that, yeah, it's
But
like
then-
instead of routing it to this, route it to that.
are you saying that it's like solely based on perception? Like, what if I don't see myself get hit with anything? Then how do the nanites know to tell my body I got hit with something?
Because they're still impacted, which quantum, like, it sends the information. They can't decide what information is sent, and you can't decide what information is sent.
But it can measure the amount of like force and pressure, because otherwise
It
it
just
couldn't
doesn't.
transmit.
It's like, if this moves this amount this quickly, so do the neurons in your brain and stuff.
It's weird because it's definitely like a transition of like information type. Also good to see you, Ryan. It's definitely like a change of information type.
Right.
Just because the nanites, when you get like, when the nanite duplicate gets hit here, moves,
Right.
the information it sends back to my body isn't like move that part of your body. It's a neuron thing of simulate the feeling of move this part of your body.
It,
You know what I mean?
reacts to the movement directly. It doesn't need to say move these in my body because it feels like it already has. It hasn't, but it feels like it already has because it is connected to it. It's like instead of instead of those things being attached to your skin and your muscles and your organs, which they are, it's also simultaneously attached to this thing's skin and organs and all that being the nanites. So if it gets stimuli from either one of these, it reacts to that stimuli. The only difference is the ones that connected to the nanites aren't physically dependent on survival, whereas the organ ones are. But they react the exact same. The stimuli on either thing.
Why is it that we can't do stuff like a puppet that
Because
you
you
don't
could.
feel?
Because you could, but it wouldn't be a nanite thing. It'd be a lot more dangerous because you have to like assemble a robot and then you send the robot out and the robot has like limited functionality and limited movement scope and limited all these things because it's based on actuators and motors and microcontrollers and all this stuff that you then send out. It's also really heavy and it's also like things that once it breaks you just can't repair it. We have to build a whole nother one. And if people get it,
Why
then they
can
just
you
take it.
not do it with the nanites? And you're like, because
Because
they're
the
quantumly
nanites aren't-
entangled and
Because
because
the
they're
nanites
not like
aren't-
actually
the
like
nanites are like a
programmed.
material, right? They're not like a computer.
But didn't we have to set how that relationship
No.
works? Like, didn't we entangle them
Yes.
and be like,
But entanglement
way
is
that
like a
it
natural
works.
quantum state. Like once you entangle a thing, you can't be like, that's how entanglement works. You're just doing it. You're like blind. You're just saying, I know these things are entangled. I don't know what information's passing through them and things like that, or how all of this works.
so we
We can only know
wung it
parts.
and it just worked? Is
We
what it
just
sounds like? It sounds like we wung it, like we winged it.
No.
We were like, we don't know how it works, and we
know
don't, it just
specific
does.
steps of things.
How?
So
Just from trial and
Heisenberg's
error.
uncertainty principle. You can know the position or the movement to a relative approximation. You can't know both, and you can never know either one 100%. So
how do
we're
we
good
know
enough to
stuff?
make it work. We're good enough to make it work. We're not good enough to be able to affect how it works.
But how did we know that it would work?
How did we felt it? We quantum entangled it to animals, and then we have those animals hooked up to machines that measure impulses, and then we did it to people.
So we trialed and errored it and just looked at
Yes.
observation.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
We wung it, like we didn't know what would
Kind of.
happen, and then it was like, oh, now we know
You
what
knew
happened.
what would happen based
How
on the
would we
physics
know
of
what
it.
happened?
Based on the physics of it. If it didn't work, it didn't work. If it worked, this is the reasoning that it works. And that's the only way.
I just feel like if we had like an actual understanding, then we could just actually.
But you're
fix
saying,
it.
that's the problem with the quantum mechanics thing. You're saying if we had an actual understanding. What I'm saying is the limits of the universe define that
You can't
you
understand.
can understand it. The
only
understanding
parts
is
of it.
limited, right,
So you can't understand all of it.
because it's not possible.
Right. So
Right.
you can't. Me saying that you can't understand it is you can't understand the whole. So you
But you
can't.
can't, that's the thing, you can't interact with the whole, right? It's not like you can't understand the
Oh.
whole. The things you can't understand are things that aren't there.
So we're gonna do another game swap. Okay. So, you just called Alex.
Yes. I'm looking at the nachos.
You're looking at the nachos. He's pumping the cheese on it. Alex was like, "Hey, sorry I didn't answer immediately. Just drove
So the
the
nachos
car
are
around." Yeah.
I like go and walk up to get the nachos. I'm like, you're good. I just wanted to like keep you updated on the situation. Appreciate you like going. Are you waiting like outside the door? Because
Yeah.
I'm getting him the nachos and trying to get his like hurt shoe off. I figured the nachos would help. I'm gonna bring him. I'm gonna get him to hold on to the nachos. I'm gonna drop him off and we'll be out there in a minute.
Okay.
See you.
Peace.
Like, put my phone in my pocket. I'm walking back to town with the nachos. Tom's still dabbing. I'm like, I walk over to like where he's at, like, and I like set the things down on the nachos down on the thing while he's still dabbing. I don't say anything. I grab one jalapeno and I put it on one chip all the way in the corner of the thing. I'm like, Tom, I got your nachos. Try the one jalapeno. That way, if it's like too intense, they're not on all of them.
He like
Because
stops dabbing
jalapenos hurt me.
and he
I don't
looks
like
over
jalapenos.
and he's like, "But there are a whole bunch.
Yeah,
Just put a lot on the chip."
you can if you want to, but it might make you
He
not like them.
grabs and he like on that one chip, he drops
And
a
I'm like,
whole
are you
cup
ready
on that
for?
one
And
chip.
I'm like, are you ready for me to take your shoe off? You got the nachos.
Hold on.
Okay.
Second cup,
I
second
like
whole
very,
cup of
I
all
like
of it.
very careful. I'm like, well, wait, before you do it. I like run back to David. Careful. David, can I get like a big ass drink?
Oh, what kind of drink would you like? You hear it from far away. Ah!
Tom,
Ah!
Tom,
He's like coughing and she's like.
Tom, what kind of drinks do you like?
Ah! Ah!
Tom, what kind of drinks do you like?
Oh!
Tom, drinks. What kind of drink do you like?
Tom's like just like.
I'm like, yeah, what kind of drink do you like?
Ah!
What's your favorite type
You're just
of
in
drink?
a moment.
I'm like, I get you. What's your favorite type of drink?
I don't think he's. You can tell that he's like, oh, he's just in a thing right now.
I'm like, cool. Get him some water, please. Can I just get a big like water cup?
Oh sure. That'll be 25 cents. Card?
Yes. I looked to see if I have a quarter first.
You check to see if you have a quarter next to your $100 bill. You got like a nickel.
I'm like, I either give you this nickel and break 100, or I do the card thing.
Then like the card machine takes like a minimum of like $1.
I'm like, ooh, I gave you like a 5, I would say. Here's a nickel.
He said, "Here's a nickel."
Yeah.
David's like,
I'm like, dude, I'm trying to this kid die.
This guy. He's like,
I want more. This,
how about I give you this cup for free, and you like get water at the water fountain. No offense.
No,
yeah,
it's fine.
just
Thank
yeah.
you. I was just trying to do it quick. Fill it up with water. I'm like, Tom.
Okay. So he like gives Tom the water, and he like tries to chug it so fast he just dumps it. He just fucking full on.
As I'm doing it, I like slowly and carefully like take his shoe off.
Then you're like, what? He like feels the pain of you like removing the shoe, but while he's like drinking the water, so he's like. And Tom's like, this is what drowning in hell feels like.
I like tap him on the back a little bit.
He's like, you feel some water on your back. He's like, ah.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm like, grab your nachos and your water.
The nachos, he like looks at them and he like tries to fit, and they're like too big for like 7-year-old him. It's like, it's a big nacho.
So then I'm like, alright, climb onto my back. Got him. I like hold him. I like grab the like thing of nachos. I like kind of cradle it, and then I grab the bowling shoes.
Tom's like, what about our shoes?
I grab his shoes. But I'm like, we're gonna get him back from the bowling counter thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I like go. I like set his up at the thing, and I'm like, hey Bill, and then I take my things off, and I like set him up. Can we get our shoes back?
Oh, sure. What sizes were these again?
I'm like, shouldn't the shoes say?
Oh, you're right. And he checks the back of the shoes, and then he like starts rummaging around.
Yeah.
First, he gets Tom's back up.
I'm like, awesome. Tom, I'm gonna, since you're just on me, I'll just hold your shoes. We can put them on the car.
Okay. And then your boy is like, now, this must be a common shoe size. There's a lot. I'm sorry. And Dan's like rummaging around. He's like, here you go. And it's like Barbie shoes, but they're your size.
I'm like, Tom, are you sure these are the ones assigned to the lane?
Hold on. And he like reaches back through. He starts digging around again. He's like, oh, that was lane 32.
Mm-hmm.
My bad.
No.
Oddly enough, your size though. That's
yeah.
Crazy. And it's a girl's shoe too, or maybe it's not. I mean,
like,
to each their own.
I like lean up to Tom and I'm like, Tom, real men wear Barbie.
Tom's like, stop with that pussy shit. And Bill's like, what a mouth. And he puts the shoes down in front of you, like, here you go.
Thank you. So I like slip my shoes on real quick. I like holding his shoes. I like go out to the front. I imagine it has like the sliding door thing.
It's like a push door.
Okay. So I'm like, Tom, we're about to truck this door.
Tom's like, yeah!
I'm like, no.
So how do you
pushes it open with my shoulder?
Oh, with your shoulder. So you like gently try to push it open with your shoulder, and then there's a little girl on the other side of the door, and she tries to like push back.
Okay. So I like stop, and I like look. I like look to see if there are parents.
So she like grins at you, and she's like, "Hi."
I'm like, hey, excuse me.
What?
Excuse me, I gotta get through.
$5?
I'm like, I'm a big ogre, and I guard this thing.
Wow,
I'm gonna get through.
Oh no, even the ogre has to pay the toll.
The ogre is the guy with the toe, and I like pretty slowly like open the thing.
And she's like, no, all stream.
And I'm like,
$5.
I like stop, and I like close it, and I look back to Bill. I'm like, Bill, there's a little girl in front of the door.
He's like, you should let her in.
And I'm like, yeah. She's saying she wants $5 for me to leave, and I just want to witness because I want to walk through the like. You are an employee of this place. I need to leave.
He's like,
I need to leave,
mm-hmm.
and I need your help with this situation. so that I can safely leave without like an altercation.
Do you need me to like hold the nachos?
No, I more need you to like make sure I can get through the door. Say like, can you open the door so that me and my
So you hold the nachos, I hold the door.
right.
Well, I kind of got to get these people's shoes.
I'm like, no, I understand. I'm just concerned. There's
Can
a
you
little
ask
door
the
over here.
mascot?
I look for the mascot.
There's a guy, he's dressed up in like a pepperoni pizza outfit that has like a reverse baseball cap on. And he's like, yeah, bowling pizza!
No, I
Yeah,
can't.
bowling pizza!
Like, no, I can't. Bill, I feel like, do you have a manager, Bill?
Yeah, he's over there. And he points.
Bowling pizza guy?
Yeah. And he's like, whose Barbie shoes are these? Do we have 32 lanes?
I'm like, hey, excuse
Where
me,
is
sir. To the manager.
To the manager?
Yeah.
Yeah, how may I help you?
I'm like, yeah. We need to get through this door.
Tom, by the way, you can see him like in your peripheral vision. He's
I'm like, yeah. We need to get through this door. But the problem is there's a little girl unattended on the other side.
say no more. Bowling. And he looks over at your hands. Nachos. Yeah.
Like, slow jam. Yeah.
So he makes his way over to like the door.
Cool.
Okay, switching games.
Same thing. Nanites, quantum technology doesn't work.
It just seems like there are flaws.
You can say that.
So how about the MIT dream technology stuff, where you can like be in like a little cocoon, and it like influences your dreams, and you can have like programmed dream experiences. Is that still a thing?
They're like in severely limited technology.
So
Not
it just
really
didn't
what's
advance?
advertised. It's just not really what's advertised. Yeah.
Do I have it?
You had it. There's just better stuff now.
What's the better stuff?
Quantum technology.
For like let's say I want to have like an adventure in a dream.
Right.
And it's like not like lucid dream, like you read a book and you
Right.
learn how to lucid dream. Like it's like you
Because
type
you're
in a
connected
computer.
because you're connected to like a large matrix level computer system biologically, it's just easy for you to kind of do whatever.
Oh, cool. So why is it that I don't just chill at home most of the time, just in simulated dream spaces, and have like a nanite body just out and about?
Because if you stay in the same place too long, people like come after you. It's just easier for you to be on them.
But what if they just need to not know where I am, right?
That's why.
So that's
rural
why I have
places
a
are
nanite
where you
body.
win. Because people in these rural places don't give a fuck about cities and are trying to stay away from them, so they wouldn't know who you are. Hence why they didn't know who you are.
Can I just be at a safe house?
Safe
just have
houses.
nanite bodies?
Right, but when you own a thing that's larger than most governments, there are spies that are in it inherently who get access to shit like that. So we're constantly having to like build new safe houses and like kill spies and do a whole bunch of shit.
Why aren't there spies who are like, you know where he could probably hide? Rural places.
They do, but it's hard to go there.
What?
Yeah.
What makes it hard to come to places like this?
So self-driving cars won't stop it.
That's also odd. So what if you told a self-driving car,
It wouldn't.
I
stop
want to
it.
visit like
It
a
would.
old
It
town?
would.
Why?
There are like old town like museum type things that are in cities, but there's specific actual rural towns that are cut off from the rest of society. They specifically said we're not a part of that society, and so they're not connected to the larger internet of our connected society.
I mean, then I just have like Google Maps if I wanted to go to like Amish country. I don't know, that just sounds weird.
Just a governmental regulation thing. Yeah.
Why? Sounds like the government's like, fuck our own small businesses.
Well, they're not ours, and they specifically like kill people.
I'm very confused.
Yeah.
So, does the government just kill people in rural areas?
No, the rural area people kill people from cities.
Why?
They believe them to be cyborgs and androids and non-human
So why kill them though?
because they believe in naturalism, humanism.
But my nigga Tim is a clone.
Do you know? Do you know
We
that for sure?
we identified that earlier.
We identified that
We
there was a
scanned
body
the-
that looked like Tim's and that there was a Tim in his place.
Okay. So are we like Tim doesn't condone cloning with himself? Like what
We
is
don't know.
we don't know?
I don't know who Tim is other than the information you've given us.
Well, Karen, come up with a plan for how we can talk to Tim.
She's like, he has people in his place. You either find a way to get him out of his place, or you go and just take the chance of walking in.
Can we remote control people?
Depends on what people.
Just someone in Tim's house.
No,
Yeah.
natural.
Okay, so we can remote control people who have the cybernetic stuff now.
Yeah, kind of a moral.
Yeah, agreed,
Yeah.
agreed.
You could.
Interesting.
You're like, essentially, like a CEO with the power of like a mega world government.
I couldn't send like a nanite Girl Scout to go ask him about his clone body. Nope. Sorry, Karen. the shrug doesn't make it better. Good to see you, Nani. And then Matt said, "Is the back circle a timer?" Yeah. He said this game is bad for audience involvement. Time to leave. Let's see. So, here's what I'll do.
Right.
Because you can't, Karen, send a Girl Scout to ask that nigga a question like that. Also, what are you looking for?
My phone. Oh, that's right.
There you go. How do you think Tim would react if his dead body was like at his doorstep?
How do I think Tim would react? Dead body at his doorstep.
The dead body that's in that room, but was just in front of his house. I feel like that would tell us a lot. We would just know shit,
Yeah.
just based on how he saw it.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Is there a way we can make that happen without us physically having to be there, like me or that guy or that guy?
Yeah.
Like we move it there with like a drone or something?
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, can we do that?
Sure.
Awesome.
So
I
you
just
wanna do
wanna-
it with a drone.
If we can make it low key, I kinda want the drone to be like, drop that nigga in, dip far enough away to where we can spy on what's
So the
happening.
thing with drones is we either need to bring one big drone that'll be kind of noisy, or like a lot
Multiple
of
small
small drones,
drones.
which would be kind of like obvious.
At what time
'Cause
should
it's
we
like-
drop off the body?
Because it's either like one big woo or like a whole bunch of tiny right, or like thousands of
Yeah, I mean, even if it is obvious, couldn't we have the drones disperse in such a way to where it's like, where do they go?
yeah, but they might know what happened. Like it would influence the way that the situation is perceived.
They'd be like, oh, the robots killed clone me? Like, I don't,
Or maybe, oh, they dropped a dead, weird clone version of me that I didn't know about. It must be those city people who made a clone of me. Even more reason to hate them.
also, we couldn't find any evidence of cloning technology here.
Nope.
So the clone, as far as we're aware, didn't come from
Do
here.
we know that it's a clone?
The twin of him? He's 5! He's 5, Karen! Dude, niggas aren't actually 5 and like that big.
Yeah,
He's
it's just
definitely
I'm not saying it's not
something.
weird, right?
Yeah, like what? What was that question, Karen? So you had me thinking for a moment until I remember that nigga's 5.
5.
He's a mechanic. Yes.
If that's the assumption you want to go with.
Is not Tiny Tim disease, is fucking Benjamin Button disease real, Karen?
No.
Okay then, what are your explanations for that nigga being 5?
She's like, I don't know.
Right.
She's like, they're male? nanite things that are 5.
Do you think Tim is made of nanites? So is there any way to check?
She's like, 1 second, jump in that.
What's he made out of?
Weird same energy thing.
Oh, that his car has?
Yeah,
Check the clone.
not
Not energy.
body.
Body. Do you think the energy thing is man-made?
No,
What?
not a thing humans possess the technology to do.
Do you think it's machine-made?
It checks for a second. No,
What?
humans control technology with machines. No, we would know about it.
So what do you think makes the energy stuff?
It's just like
Just
I
do,
don't
like-
have information.
Just make an educated guess.
Something straight, something outside of the realm of human capability. I don't know.
And machine capability.
Right,
Like you're like even a sentient machine acting on its own couldn't make it?
right.
That's odd.
We also don't know of any sentient machine acting on their own.
We also don't what?
Know of any sentient machines acting on their own.
Why not?
There's some hierarchy in everything.
That's weird.
Just the way societies work.
Could I have a little nanite pet?
What do you want?
Like a little orb.
Orb? Yep.
Yeah, it just kind of follows me. It's probably like this big.
Yep. It's probably gonna be quantum mechanically attached to you.
Alright, bowling alley.
Yeah.
Bowling, not true. So again, we're switching over games again. By the way, it's 7:50.
Yeah.
This is the last one.
Well, I was gonna say, are you hard cutting off at that? Or
Because
do
you guys are
do
doing
it?
Game of Thrones.
I'm not. He is. He was saying he.
So you're not gonna do Game of
He is
Thrones.
like, I'm gonna use the he.
Can we do writing at 8 then? And then I cut off at 9? I wanna write some. I haven't written it all today. It'll only be like an hour writing. We still have only until 7:50 regardless.
Agreed.
So going back doesn't do anything.
I don't know that I'm down for writing.
But I wanna do some writing. Cause keep in mind, once I go back, it'll be like exercise, shower, date. Like I just won't have any time for writing
I
then.
get you. Are you like, I wanna cut off at 8 so I can do writing for an hour?
But I would wanna, if you're like, I'm not doing Game of Thrones, I'd still be down to hang out while doing writing.
I just don't wanna do writing. So it'd be a thing where you're doing writing and I'm just like,
But we could like still talk and hang out. When have I ever done writing stuff and been like, I'm
could
a
you do
brick
writing
wall
stuff
and we
and
can't
we
talk?
also do
No,
why?
because this is direct involvement.
Right.
Right.
Is that not what talking about?
This is really different. So a discussion is just us like having more of like a conversation. That would be like essentially writing 2 stories at the same time.
Right.
Right.
That's not what we're doing the same thing kinda right now.
No. No. Yeah, because that's not the same time.
Kinda,
You
you're
were-
responding to things, I'm doing things, then we switch over to a whole nother thing.
Well, we're 2 people.
Right.
And we're doing like 2 different stories at their own times.
Right.
It's literally 10 minutes for one, then 10 minutes for another.
Right.
I'm saying I don't want to be like, oh yeah, Vanessa Brooks, welcome to the stream, it's good to have you. I don't want to be like writing a story like on my laptop while we're trying to do a story here,
But wouldn't that
while
be a
I'm
similar
also
thing
trying to
like
read
we're
the
having a
live chat.
discussion?
No, I feel like the discussion thing works fine with me also writing.
So then why can't the discussion just be,
This is not just a discussion, like the game thing isn't.
right,
It's like a full-on like game.
Right.
And you'd want full attention of both parties like in that, on that. You do the show because during the game, you're like, I don't mind it, but I feel like I would mind it. I would want to be like in the like zone, like in the thing. But we could like hang out and talk and like have like YouTube stuff in the background if you want. And I work on writing for a little bit, but I gotta dip.
I would
I like
just
it.
be,
I don't think you'd be bored.
I would, because that would be what I want to do.
But I don't want to do the RPG thing all the time. I want to write something.
We just haven't done it in a long time, which is why I'm like, make up for it, because then like there will be like a long time in the future.
Even when there isn't a long divide, even when we just do the RPG stuff, you want to do it quite regularly, pretty much all the time.
Because it's not.
It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just it ends up becoming the main thing that we do all the time. Every other time we've done it, you're like, this is just what I want to do now.
Disagree. Disagree.
Disagree with disagreement. Bowling alley. 7 minutes. Okay. Bowling and nachos. So he goes up to the door and he's like, yeah, yeah. He like bumps into the door, and the little girl's like, eh! And she like stumbles back a little bit, and he's like, go on through. And he like just holds the door open with his arm.
Like, thank you.
Okay.
Might go on through.
You go on through. She's like, what? And the pizza guy's like, you wanna come in? Bowling and pizza. And she's like, do you happen to have five? And he walks away, and he's like, bowling and pizza. Bowling, yeah. So, what are you doing? The car's like right there.
Yep. I go and like put Tom in the back.
Whoa.
Put his shoes next.
You have shoes in your hand and like nachos in your hand, and you have Tom on your back.
I like ask Alex if she can like reach over.
Did you ever put your shoes on?
Yes. I
Okay.
remember when I was like, I slipped my shoes on.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I'm like, hey Alex, like tapping the glass over. Can you like reach over and like undo the back door so I can like prop it open and put Tom in?
She's like, sure. She like reaches in the back, and she's like,
I'm like, awesome, thank you. I like put Tom in the back.
oh wait. But what about the nachos over in your hand?
I like set them on the like top of the car.
Okay.
I'm like, dude, I'm not grabbing them. And I'm like, here you go, Tom.
So they're just like in Tom's lap. He's like,
Hold on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be any left.
Close the door. Make sure his feet are inside. Close the door.
Make sure his feet are like, Tom, leave your foot out real quick.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I like go and get in the car. I'm like, cool. Let's, I guess, take him home, see parents, then hospital or doctor. Boo.
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 Walgreens.
Do you think we should talk to parents before boo?
Sure.
Parents.
I don't know where we're talking weird. And she like hits a button on like the Firefly, and it goes beep 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 buzz, and it like calls like the dad. It's like and the dad's like, "Ayo, how's it going, sunshine? How's it going?" And she's like, "Hey, Dad." And then Tom's like, "Hey, Dad." And Alex like looks at you.
Like, hey, Dad.
And it's like, "Hey, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time." And bowling and pizza. You guys talk to the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's great. I used to go to college with that guy. So, is everything okay?
Tom hurt his foot bowling, dropped a bowling ball on it.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty serious stuff. We're in the car now. He has nachos. He's chilling a little bit. We're trying to figure out whether or not we need to like go get him a boot at Walgreens.
Nothing left.
Whether we should get him a boot at Walgreens. Whether we should like come home and let you guys check him out and then make the decision. Like, what should we do?
So does it hurt when he like moves it?
It hurts for him to like try and put pressure on it.
To put pressure on it. What about just moving his foot?
Tom, what about just move? Can you like just move your ankle, like your foot?
Do. Moment of truth. Dun. Your boy's like moving it.
Yeah, he's like.
I'm not a little baby bitch.
He's like moving his spine.
Well, it sounds like he needs to just wash his mouth out with soap, and you guys can just get on that boot.
Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks.
No problem. See you when you get home.
See you.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
We just have like a thing at home that you could probably use. It's like adjustable.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. We'll be heading home.
Okay, peace. And Alex is like, hey, easy.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to listen to?
What do you want to listen to, Tom?
Tom. Oh, you chips in my face.
I'm like, I know a game. Let's listen to the Bowling and Pizza song.
Alex is like, are you actually like trying to die?
Go ahead.
You want me to kill you?
No, play what you want.
Oh, okay, cool. She plays like some MGMT. It's like, no, it's not MGMT. Empire of the Sun.
Yeah.
Like Walking on a Dream or whatever. She's like going down. She's in the parking lot, going onto like the main road.
She seems in my head. She seems like another version of me. Like, Walking on a Dream. I really like that music.
I also like that song.
Oh, thank you.
Fuck you too. So, how many minutes do we have? 1 minute.
1 minute.
So, you're going down the
Incorrect
street,
timer.
approaching, the house,
Yeah.
going past different like trees. You go from a more like
I'm screaming, walking on a
tree. Tom, like, how can I explain? So you go from a more urban area into a more like forested, like woodland area as you're like driving through.
I'm like, guys, you live a fool place.
You heard what I said. And that's 8. Oop. Ryan said, I misaligned one of my stickers. He said on my Lego X-Wing. Ooh.
Oh, so it's broken.
Yeah, boys, been working on those Legos. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to smash the like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to be notified whenever these live streams. There's your friend, boy, Jetblack one, on you with
Me.
logging out. Peace.